Now let's talk about these upsets, man, which is crazy, right? And we gotta thank one person for this, in my opinion, because this year was spectacular. Is that the word? It was spectacular because we had a lot of upsets, and upsets are good for the sport because it brings eyes to the sport, and it gets people talking. It gets the people going. As Will Ferrell used to say. Um, and and that's good, man. To be honest, this was one of the best years of boxing, if not the best year of boxing, because of the upsets and because of all the fights. Like I said before, like some of these fights, I had a hard time believing that happened in 2024. Um, but they actually did, which is crazy. You know, Bacoli versus Big Baby Miller. Is it Big Baby Miller or Anderson? It's one of those two. Um, and this is one of those fights that I was like laughing at because it seemed like Bacoli or Broccoli, whatever his name is, came out with his boxers, bro. Like it was no biggie. Just came out and knocked out Big Baby, which looked like a little baby in there. Because seriously, like the size difference, just monumental. You could see who was the real heavyweight and who was just like a blown up, junior. And yeah, man, that was one of the upsets. Was it a big upset? Not really, because I was very unfamiliar with both of these guys. But to people that followed the sport, this was, somewhat of an upset. Also a lot of the upsets I'm gonna miss and I'm not gonna talk about because a lot of them were little known Mexican fighters from little known Mexican fighters from somewhere. They invited them and then they realized that those little dudes could fight. But some of the most prominent ones, some of the most known ones, those are the ones that I'm gonna mention. Like for example, Wilder versus Zhilei Zhang, which was kind of an upset, but not really because we've always known that Wilder, he's a wild card. Sometimes he's gonna do good, sometimes he's not gonna do good, and it's really like a coin flip with him. So even in the fight, I got this prediction right. This is one of the few predictions that I got um, wrong, and the reason is because, like I said, it's so risky to even predict a fight with Wilder because he does have that one hitter quitter. He does have a puncher's chance, but it's in the boxing game. A puncher's chance is nothing. That's the thing you got to understand. A puncher's chance. Everybody really, really, if you think about it, everybody has a puncher's chance. You could get hit with a bad shot anytime. You could be winning the fight, and if you've been in a couple of street fights, you know this. You could be winning the fight, and then somebody just throws a haymaker out of nowhere. You feel like, and you kind of get dazed, and you're like, damn, I thought I was winning. You were, but this guy just threw a haymaker. He threw a Hail Mary, and he caught you with it. So everybody has a puncher's chance. Of course, Deontay Wilder's power is monumental and is legendary, but his skill level lacking. Even more now than ever because the big breaks and the over reliance on his power has made him even more of a weakling. And I mean, is he going to come back? Is he not? Who knows? Who knows? I'd personally say, retire because at this point it's just you're just getting beat up by people now. I think he got beat up by another guy. I forgot his name. Um, I forgot his name, but I don't even know if that was this year or last year. Um, but that shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. Now this one was definitely this year. This is Liam Paro versus Subriel Matias. Subriel Matias, he is a Puerto Rican, and the other guy's from Australia. Subriel Matias is one of these guys that has been mentioned a lot in the last couple of years because he killed the guy. I mean, that's basically what it is. He accidentally killed the guy. Um, he's one of these fighters that accumulates punches, similar to Benavidez, similar to Beterbiev. The same type of style, that overwhelms their opponents with volume punching. And so Subriel is this style of fighter, and he usually overwhelms his opponents by doing that, and he was unable to do that to Liam Paro because Liam Paro was a moving target. He was hard to hit. Subriel had a hard time cutting off the ring. And to be honest, I never thought Matias ever had an actual game plan. He never really does cut off the ring. That's the other thing I was gonna talk about is you got to know how to cut off the ring. And Benavidez, I've never seen him really do that. He doesn't seem to have the skill of cutting off the ring. And Subriel Matias as well, he doesn't really have that either. And Mayweather, he does. He actually cuts off the ring very well. Um, and he almost makes his opponents go the way he wants them to go. So that's important to beat Usyk as well. Just getting back to that a little bit, but this was an upset, guys. To most people, was it the upset of the year? I don't think so. Some people say that maybe Anthony Joshua versus Du Bois. Is it Du Bois or Dubois? Dubois. Um, was the upset of the year? Was it? I don't know, but it was definitely an upset, and I'm gonna tell you why. It's just the way it happened. Anthony is not a bad fighter, dude. He's not. But in this fight, he just looked horrible, dude. He looked horrible. He was doing shit that is just. I just don't understand how a professional fighter does things like that. And listen, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Anthony Joshua can beat anybody, but he has to have the right game plan, and he has to have the right people behind him. If he's one of these, he's almost like a dream boxer in the sense that you could tell him, hey, do this, do that, and then he'll do it. For a trainer. But the problem is that just how easily he could follow your instructions, that's the same way he could follow bad instructions and get his ass knocked out. So he's heavily dependent on whoever's training him. And I'm not blaming the trainer. I'm not doing that, but I am saying this is the guy. If any boxer is more susceptible to a trainer, it's Anthony Joshua. All right, there's other boxers as well, but him more than anybody else, I've seen, monumentally change. In this fight, bro, he was not fighting like himself. His hands were down. He was jumping in, jumping out. Like, oh, dude, like I don't understand, dude. Like, I don't understand how a professional boxer can be so bad at boxing, dude. Like, there's no other way I could explain it. Even the strategy that he was trying to implement. Like, if you listen to the corner and what they were talking about, yeah, it's coin flip, bro. You don't fight like that. You only fight like that when you know that you have no other option, when you know that you're losing anyways. Um, This one was crazy, dude. This one was an upset, a surprising upset, not in the sense that uh, the boys sucked or that he wasn't that good or whatever. It's just the fact that the way Anthony Joshua got knocked out and the way he performed in that fight, it was trash, bro. It was complete and utter trash the way Anthony Joshua performed. It was to the point to where you kind of wanted him to retire because if he's gonna be fighting like this, bro, it's not gonna look good for him. He's gonna get knocked out by Wilder. He's gonna get knocked out by Zhang. Anybody could beat him if he's fighting like this. So do I believe it's over for him? I mean, it depends. Like I said, he's very susceptible more than any other fighter to his camp, to his training camp, to the people behind him. Way more than other people, way more than other boxers. Um, so who knows? You know, but this one was crazy. Like even the way he got knocked out, like by the same punch, and he kept approaching the fight, the same punch. He kept approaching it in the same manner. If you know if you know you're getting hit by the same punch every time you throw an uppercut, then be smart about it. Stop throwing the uppercut in the way you're throwing it. Stop jumping in like that with your hands down. You already got countered like 3 times the same way doing the same shit. Why would you do it again? It doesn't make any sense. Not even like logically. Even if you didn't have a trainer. And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I'm saying that Anthony Joshua is more susceptible to this kind of shit. Is because anybody who's thinking for themselves realizes this shit ain't working. I'm not going to do it no more. But no, he kept doing it. And gets punched with the same punch over and over again. Of course. Of course. Shit was crazy. I mean, even Dubois was surprised. Look at Dubois. He's like, oh shit. He's like, oh shit. I hit him for real. I hit him that hard. Damn. I can't believe it. It's like, bro, like that. I'm saying that was one of the craziest upsets I've seen. Um, and of course we have Tszyu versus Murtazaliev. And yeah, man, that one was kind of crazy because I really didn't know who Murtazaliev was. So yeah, I guess this one was kind of crazy, but at the same time, you know, I think Tszyu just made a couple of bad decisions in his career, and he tried to fly too fast or whatever before he was ready. And I mean, he was still a chick. He was still a little chicky chick. And you gotta be ready, man. You gotta be ready before you go out there and fight somebody for real, dude. And then some of these guys are just waiting to pounce and get a chance, because I don't know. But this one was an upset. It wasn't that surprising. I mean, kind of, but at the same time, I had my doubts about Tszyu. Even though I did think he was a good fighter, there were certain things that he would do that made me think that he could get caught by somebody and hurt by somebody who's just simply stronger. And that's the thing, is like when you're not technically perfect and you face somebody who's stronger than you, he's going to expose those technical flaws. And that's what happened. That's what happened in this fight. But we're just gonna have to see what's next for Tszyu. That might be it for him. I'm thinking it is, but who knows? Another one that I was surprised happened. I'm thinking this happened this year, but if not, correct me, guys. I don't know. But Cruz versus Rayo Valenzuela. Rayo Valenzuela, I was familiar with him from his last fight before this one. I forgot who the guy was, but they stole the fight from him, and then they gave Valenzuela another chance, what they shouldn't have. I mean, they shouldn't. They weren't supposed to, but they gave him a chance anyways. So he won that fight, and people were talking about, yeah, he's pretty good or whatever, but he's not that good. He's not gonna beat Cruz. Well, turns out he beat him. This was a big upset, but there was no knockdowns, no knockouts. It was just, outboxing Cruz, which Cruz, I feel like he's married to the peekaboo style too much. I think he saw way too many. What's the name of that? Ippo no Yaiba, whatever. Which I don't watch, by the way, but a lot of people tell me to watch it because they say I fight like Rayo. I mean, Rayo or Ryo Mishima, something like that. Ryo Mishima, which I don't, right? But because I've seen clips of it, because people keep sending me the video and say, look, this is you or whatever. I'm like, man, whatever. Like I hate that. Well, I'm not really, but I hate the fact that a lot of people think that show is like accurate, and it is kind of accurate, but some of the shit there, bro, is stupid, bro. But anyways, this actually happened this year, which is crazy. Like, I thought it was it was 2024, right? So this has to be the upset of the year. It's either this one or, well, not this one. This one was an upset too. Where's Munguia? Shit, I forgot to download a picture of Munguia. But Munguia lost to a guy called Zarasso, the French guy. Some people say that was the upset of the year. But then you got this one, bro. This happened 2024, dude. This happened this year. Like, I mean, last year, because we're in 2025 now. But this happened last year. That's crazy. So, I mean, it's a toss-up. Of course, some people are going to say Munguia, right? Because I don't want to say why, but it's crazy, bro. All of this shit happened this year, bro, which is crazy, dude. That is crazy. Like, think about that. All that shit that I just mentioned right now, plus the Munguia fight. This guy here, he upset this guy. He was the guy that's on his knees. He was the favorite. And he got beat by this guy called Gallegos, something like that. Gallegos. Oh, his name's right here. Gallegos versus Cole. So that one was this year too, bro. Like, shit, bro. Shit, listen, when shit gets real, you start seeing, what's really happening. And I've been telling you for a long time. All right, and I don't want to like say I told you so, but I told you so. I told you that they've been trying to push a certain narrative in boxing for a long time. They've been trying to protect a lot of people for a long time. Okay, they build them up. Okay, they build them up. They give them easy fights that they can win. They control everything from the gloves you wear to how many times you get tested. Weaponized testing. The only way that some people could even pull off a win is by playing the same game or not even playing the game at all, going freaking crazy. That's what Ryan did. He just went crazy. He was like, fuck it. I'm just going to go buck wild. And it's pretty much the only way you can beat the system, dude. It's just by not even playing by the rules, because they're not playing. They're using the rules against you, dude. They are. And listen, I don't like Ryan, right? Um, but I have to admit that he kind of played the system a bit. He kind of went buck wild on it. And listen, a lot of the people that we think was good in the past, they're not really that good. And we found that out this year. We found out, you know, this is the find out year. Fuck around and find out year. And I hope it continues, bro. I hope the veil continues to rip and shred, and we start seeing that in the end, everything burns. Everything goes back to green. You know, ashes to ashes, dust to dust.